So, my personal narrative basically starts when I was a very, very young girl. When I was thinking back to moments that impacted kind of where I am and who I am today, I couldn't help but think about what these two did for me, my parents. From a very young age, they instilled a love of reading into me. They read to me every single day to the point where I memorized books like Cat in the Hat and other Dr. Seuss books because I heard them over and over again. So I was constantly immersed in literacy and language, and I feel like that fostered a love for language and a desire to want to learn more because of that interest and that curiosity that they instilled. And I know what you're thinking. How could that curiosity have impacted me for the rest of my life? Well, it did, because not only did I have that desire to learn about language and gain all the information I could, but I wanted to share that with others. Here I am as a young girl sharing it with my sister who has no idea what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to read to her. I wanted to show her things that I've learned. I mean, I've always since then had a love for showing and teaching things and children and just being immersed in all of those kinds of things. From a young age, I know you hear a lot of kids playing teacher, but that's basically all I played. I mean, I had a Barbie. The only Barbie that I wanted to play with was a teacher, and I feel like because of that love for reading that God instilled in me, I wanted to spread that to children and people that I truly care about and feel that I have a calling to work with. I've worked with a great diverse bunch of kiddos. I mean, I've seen all different races, different languages, different backgrounds, and I feel like now, because of where I came from, I'm able to share what I know and even learn from them. Here you see my kids being a little bit silly with their book covers, but honestly, these kids had such a love for books at such a young age. They were in first grade and they were constantly wanting to get more books and take another trip to the library, and it was just awesome to see that love that I had transferred to them. And of course, I had to introduce them to Dr. Seuss. We had a whole day that celebrated Dr. Seuss and all of the wonderful accomplishments he had, and his love for fun language and making reading fun and just even better than it already is. And finally, I feel like one of the most important impacts that this love for language that I have has had on me is now I'm curious in learning other languages. Here I went on a mission trip to Mexico, and I found it so exhilarating just trying to have conversations with these young kids who spoke a different language than I did, and just trying to see, where they came from. And now I even want to be a bilingual teacher eventually. I want to just learn as much about language as I can, and just the differences and ways to connect with children in totally different ways. And I feel like this is all stemmed from that love of language that I've had since I was a very young girl. So the moral of the story is that love for reading that you can instill in a child from a young age is so, so important. So read to your kids and let them experience the joy of reading for themselves, and it just might stick with them when they grow older.